Hey guys, Dylan Allen here from Allen Endurance Coaching. We're at finishing up week 5 of our training vlog, and it's starting to catch up a little bit. We hit about 38 miles again this week, about 6.5 hours total training time between running, swimming, and lifting. And it was a good week though. Starting to get a little tired, but that's supposed to happen with baseball. So let's get to it. So before I forget again, be sure to follow along, hit the subscribe and notification bell, that way you don't miss a single training vlog, training talk, or tips and demos video. Also, follow us along on Facebook, @Coach Dylan, on Instagram, @Coach Dylan Allen, and on the website for our weekly blog at www.allenendurancecoaching.com. You can find us on all 3 places. Alright, so I got my good post-run smoothie here. So last week, we got about a total of 38 miles in, about 6.5 hours, something like that. And we hit our first double-digit run since Boston. I didn't realize it'd been quite that long. But yeah, we also hit some awesome 400s. So let's break it down. The previous week, we did our long run on Sunday. So Monday, this past week, was just an easy 4 miles, just 4 easy recovery, just nice and easy, getting the legs moving so we get warmed up and stretched out. Tuesday, it was super cool out. I actually went to practice at 6 o'clock in the morning and got there, and I wished I had brought a jacket with me because t-shirt and shorts was just a little cool for standing around holding the stopwatch for folks. So, yeah, I think we might be starting to get adapted to the summer heat here in Louisiana. 60 degrees, feeling cold. It felt amazing to go run, though. I managed to go get my 5-mile run in after practice before it got warm. And it was so beautiful out. The heart rate was low. The turnover rate was about right. Hi, Jack. And overall, it was a good run. It was really enjoyable. The next morning, Wednesday, we had the Wednesday morning track group. Some of us met up. We meet up on Wednesdays to do speed work. And so the previous week, I had done 300s right at kind of 5K race pace, maybe. Hopefully, we'll see. But I mean, they were quick. They're 300-meter repeats. And I was taking a minute and a half, 2 minutes recovery between them. So this week we did 6 400s, and I took the full 2-minute recovery on them. But it was cool enough that we were hitting them right at 75. It was like 74, 76, 74, 76. And they felt amazing. Like, I didn't have any tying up issues. I didn't have any, it didn't feel like I was swimming in lactic acid. They were just nice and smooth, cranking them out, almost fully recovered by the time we started the next one. And we warmed up and we did 6 striders as part of the warm-up, and then we did the 400s. And I got like a 10 or 15-minute cool-down in afterwards. It ended up being, maybe a little over 5.5 miles total. So it wasn't a huge session or anything. But those 400s felt amazing. So this week I think we're going to try to do the same thing and try to bump it up to about 6 of them maybe. Kind of see how they're going. And then that afternoon we lifted. And it was a heavy lift. It was full body, powerful lift, full hour at the gym between warming up, cooling down, stretching, doing the lifts. And some of them went a little better than I thought. There wasn't a deadlift rack open. I was able to get one of the squat racks to do the bench press, but I couldn't get it set up to superset my deadlifts and my bench press at the same time. Those racks weren't available. So I ended up switching it up and doing single leg deadlifts, which, a little more stability work, a little less power, but it ended up getting the job done. And then we did some circuit training, kind of working on the upper body, shoulder girdle stability, and just general fitness stuff. And that's important for me because when I was in undergrad, I actually got run over while I was coaching. And it was just the back tire, so I didn't really get seriously injured. But the back tire went over both arms and my right shoulder just a little bit. And so it didn't really, it's not a serious injury, but it's something that if I don't do the maintenance work on it, then, it just gets a little loose and gets a little uncomfortable. It just doesn't have the muscular endurance to keep the shoulder girdle stable while doing stuff. And I don't want to get hurt, like, trying to do yard work or, normal life stuff. It less to do with running, but just general fitness. And that's important to do. Don't sacrifice your general overall health and fitness, for what you think is kind of dedicated running training. You can do it short term, but it will catch up with you. Wednesday last week was a pretty heavy training volume day. So by the time we got around to Thursday, I got in just an easy, a little more than 4 mile recovery run, and in the morning, and then in the afternoon I went to go swim. And normally I get about a mile swim in on those recovery days, just keeping the calf limber, working on my swim mechanics. Just a little more kind of aerobic time spent training. And I was so tired that my mechanics were goofy. I wasn't relaxed in the water. I had water going up my nose. My breathing rhythm was off. So after a little more than 20 minutes, because I got about a little over 1,100 yards in, I pulled the plug. I was like, you know what? The point of this is to be a recovery workout, and I'm tired enough that I'm working hard enough just to do it, and my mechanics are off, and it's going to end up being a workout, not a recovery workout. So, if the goal was to be a recovery workout, I had met that objective, and it was time to move on. So Friday came around, feeling pretty tired. I had originally intended on lifting as well. I got my easy 6 miles in the morning, and then intended on lifting in the afternoon. But quite frankly, the time window I had to lift, I was fighting just not to fall asleep on the couch. I think the total training volume is was starting to accumulate. And you find this with base building blocks. It's not like any one particular workout really does you in, but it's the accumulation of fatigue, day after day after day after day after week, that's the fatigue that catches up with you. And like you hit a certain point, you're tired. And so I could have gone in, I could have done a lift, if I had managed to squeeze it in, but I'm not sure I would have gotten a ton out of it, because I was just tired. I didn't have the oomph to get a quality lifting session in. And so I listened to my body, and, opted to take that, hour that I had planned on working out to essentially recoup, get some downtime, kick my feet up, get a little extra food in me, a little extra water so I could recover. And Saturday came around, and it was at this point the temperature started to creep up a little bit, but it was feeling pretty good. So I ended up doing my first double-digit run since Boston. Got 10 miles in, theoretically, according to my watch. 10 miles in at the park. I had a buddy, Prasant, came out. He came out and ran with me. We kept each other company on trails. And because it was on trails, we're moving a little slower than normal. Normally, if we'd been on roads doing a 10-mile long run, it would have taken us probably about 75 minutes, about 7:30 pace. But because we're on trails, it ended up taking us almost 85 minutes. So it was like an extra 10 minutes of work. And so the last couple of miles, man, we were both feeling pretty tired. The trails out there are a little hilly. They're not like long, gargantuan, drawn-out hills, but there's enough kind of quick up and down, quick turns. There's just kind of different kind of stimulus. And so I think that the hills help mitigate the not lifting the day before. The extra core work required to run on trails help mitigate the not getting it in the day before in the gym, since I'd cut that work out. And we got a total of 10 miles in, about an hour and 25 minutes or so, about 85 minutes of work. And we were pretty tired by the end. We definitely caught ourselves playing the food game, about halfway through, kind of fantasizing about all our favorite foods. And, that's when we realized that, metabolically speaking, we were getting out of our long run what we had wanted to get out of it. In the last mile and a half, 2 miles or so, we backed off, and we did it on the paved trail around the lake, not on the actual trails. Kind of using it as a little bit of our cool down. We could tell we were tired, and so we're going around the lake, kind of using it as cool down, finish off the mileage. Because we're OCD just like any other runners. We both like having those nice round numbers. So we got that even 10 in, and it was good. And then Sunday was Father's Day. I had originally planned on taking the day off, but knowing once I had entered Saturday's run, I was like, oh, that's the first long run I've done since Boston. I need to make sure I get warmed up so I can stretch real good. So I drove down to the loop at the track and just ran a super easy, 2 miles, just an easy 15 minutes, just enough to kind of get warmed up so I could get a short stretch session in, before it got hot and before I kind of got on with the day. And it was pretty good. I will say, Saturday, before we, after practice, my wife and I and my daughter jetted over to Shreveport to go to the Art Museum and the Botanical Gardens. And that's kind of what we did for Father's Day. But while we were there, we went to Parish Taco, which was awesome. It's like this fusion taco place, never been there. We got a gift certificate to it last year at a race. But they had some really interesting tacos. And I don't know if it was a combination of the long run in the morning or just the fact that I like really cool tacos. But man, that beer and those couple of tacos were amazing. I got a Korean barbecue taco, and so it had like the Korean barbecue beef and some Korean pickles in it, and it had a honey sriracha sauce on it. And I'm getting hungry again just thinking about it. And the vegetarian taco had the roasted eggplant and the black-eyed pea hummus and some other stuff. They were both really good. My wife got the fried oyster taco, so it's kind of like a oyster po' boy in a taco. That was amazing. And then she also got the vegan taco, which had cauliflower in it, and it was okay. I wasn't super impressed with it. I think maybe they need to prepare the cauliflower differently. I don't know. Anyway, post long run, tacos and beer and fresh chips tasted amazing. So yeah, Parish Taco, if you ever hear about this, hook a brother up. Looking for sponsors. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at this week. We got about 38-ish miles in total. You can check it out over on Strava if you want to look at any of the little details. We only got in one lift session and one swim, so on that end it was a little shorter, which is why the total time this week was a little lower than the week before, by about 20 minutes or so, I think. But the work we did this week was harder. That lift session was harder. The 400s were hard. The 10-miler was a more difficult workout. And so I think the overall workload, even though the time is a little lower, and the mileage was the same, I think the overall workload was about the same, which is about where we want to be. We want it 2 or 3 weeks in a row of the workload's about the same, and then we'll take a recovery week, and then we'll get another couple weeks where we bump up the workload a little bit. And by the time we get around to the Firecracker 5K on the 4th of July, we'll be able to use that to get some good data, figure out where our overall fitness is, and we'll go from there, kind of moving forward with the next block in the training cycle. So, until next time, train smart.